coming to spend the next hour with us to learn about Web 2.0 tools for the online classroom. And my hope for all of you today is that you're able to take away at least one tool that you haven't heard about and that you're able to use in the online environment for your virtual classroom. A few housekeeping notes as well. I have turned off the audio and video functions, so you will not see those at the bottom of your Collaborate screen for this webinar. However, of course, the chat function is available, so I really encourage you during the webinar as I go over some of these collaboration tools and also tools for assessments, that if you have any extra or other tools that you have used that you really enjoy, or any additional information about the tools that I'm talking about, please feel free to share that information in the chat so we all can benefit from that, because right now we have 58 people in the session, so that's a lot of information that we can share during this hour. So for today's agenda, it looks a little bit like this. You will meet our online learning team over at the Faculty Development Flight, and then we'll begin to talk about what exactly is Web 2.0 and why is it so important to have an engaging online classroom. Then we'll go into some different types of collaboration tools that you will be able to use, and then also some tools specifically for assessments and activities that you can do within your course. And then we'll wrap things up with some closing remarks. So welcome again. I am Miss Brittany Hall. I am an EIDL instructor. It stands for Instructor Developer of On Learning over at the Faculty Development Flight. And I love my job. I am a mom. I'm married. I have 6 kids. They're not all mine. We're a blended family. They range from 20 to 1. The youngest, he just turned 1 on Friday, and they are here all the time in the house. Not now, they're gone. So I love education. I'm currently 2 classes away from graduating with my master's in education with a concentration in online learning. So I love everything about learning, but I don't know it all of this. So that's why I really encourage you to teach me something today too and add it in the chat message. I'm not alone, so I have Mr. Frank Rosenkrantz here with me. Most of you might know him from the Basic Instructor course. He has moved over into the online realm of the classroom, and he will be in the chat as well answering your questions. So he teaches EIDL along with me. And then we have the Miss Monica Garcia, who is our online course director. She actually developed EIDL and AOL, the Analysis of Learning course that we both teach the Faculty Development Flight. And she knows everything about Blackboard. If you have a Blackboard question, you can reach out to her. But she's also in the chat as well, so they will be answering your questions. And if for some reason we missed your question, please don't worry. I'll go back through and make sure that if we missed your question, we will follow up with an email with an answer to your question as well. Let's get started. When we talk about or think about Web 2.0, you can throw in the chat what exactly comes to your mind when you think about Web 2.0. And I chose this word cloud because it's a visual representation of exactly what Web 2.0 is. And it's really the second stage of the development of the World Wide Web. Now, I know I remember, and I'm sure all of you remember, Web 1.0 days where we had the dial-up, it took forever to get onto the internet. Well, we no longer have those static web pages. We now have dynamic web pages and user-generated content. And of course, how can we all forget the growth of social media? When you take a look at this word cloud, the words that pop out to me are sharing, collaboration, which is the main thing about Web 2.0 tools. It's all about sharing information and collaborating with each other. Now we have wikis, video casting, podcasting, blogs. We have all these different avenues where we can share information. Now it's bi-directional instead of just one direction where the information flow was happening. So why is it important to have Web 2.0 tools, and why is it important to make our online courses engaging? What are the advantages? One big advantage is that they're available anytime and any place, especially now. Look at us all in our current environment, the coronavirus. We're all stripped out of our work centers and now we're at home. Now we can use these tools no matter where we're at. They're available no matter where you're located throughout the world. If your students are deployed, they can still access these tools, and you can still stay connected with them as well. And you can use a variety of different types of media. You can have photos, videos, text, no matter what it is, you can use this type of media in these different types of tools. Also, probably the most two important reasons for using Web 2.0 tools and the advantages of having an engaging online classroom are that your learners can actively be involved in knowledge building. And this is very critical, especially in the online environment. You really want to be able to design and create active learning strategies in your classroom, especially in your online classroom, so your students can start creating that knowledge. We all are walking around with our little toolbox of our tacit knowledge, and it's all different. My tacit knowledge is different from your tacit knowledge. And that's different because of the observations I've had throughout my life, my different types of experience that I've had. But as educators, we need to take it, what we want to teach our students, and if we can connect that to what they already know, then they can internalize that and learn it and remember it and appreciate it. And if you can have your students do that in an active manner and not just passively sitting back, they'll be more inclined and motivated to do the learning strategies as well. And you can create a dynamic learning community. One of the biggest downfalls, or maybe pet peeves of students that they have with online learning, is they say they feel isolated. Well, with these collaboration tools, you do not feel isolated. You feel like you're part of a group, part of your community, and they're user friendly. I don't know if any of you here are technophobic, but there are people out there that are technophobic. They are scared of computers, scared of the internet. They want nothing to do with it. That's okay. Trust me. If I can figure these tools out, you will be okay. They are very user friendly now. They've come a long way. And finally, it provides real-time discussion, just like we're having now. Now, granted, I did shut off the audio function, but when you get a group this large, sometimes it gets to be a little distracting and a little much. But in your small classrooms, you definitely can have synchronous audio, synchronous video going on at the same time, and it really does provide that real-time discussion. Some of the collaboration tools that I will go over, and these are in no specific order other than alphabetical order. We'll go over Blackboard Collaborate, which we're using now, DCS, the Defense Collaboration Service, Google Hangouts, Microsoft Teams, MillSuite, WebEx, and finally, Zoom. So let's begin with Blackboard Collaborate. And as you can see, this is the tool that we are using. And we also use this tool in our IDLE course as well, because our course is housed in the Blackboard Learning Management System. With Blackboard Collaborate, your instructors are able to really create a virtual classroom. You can share your PowerPoint presentations or any presentation that you have. You're able to communicate with your students via synchronous audio, back and forth, two-way communication, video, the chat tools, and a ton of other various collaborative applications. For example, breakout groups, where you can take your students and break them out into groups for a certain time limit. They can work on an activity together. They can talk to one another. They can only hear those people that are grouped, and then you can bring them back to the main room and sort of do a hot wash about the activity and what they thought about it. There's also an interactive whiteboard through Blackboard Collaborate, where the students can have brainstorming activities. You could share a diagram and they could fill in the diagram. The possibilities are endless with the different types of collaboration tools available through Blackboard Collaborate. You can also share your desktop screen, and you can record your sessions as we're doing. So if for some reason, we all understand life happens, your students can watch the recorded session in their own convenience. You do not need a common access card, but unfortunately, Blackboard Collaborate will not work on the AFNet. So you have to have a commercial network in order to use this collaboration tool. Next is DCS. DCS has conference and chat capabilities. You do need your common access card in order to access DCS. It is free for all of us, all DoD CAC holders. You're able to webcast, you can share chat, file share, and also have conference calls. And there are an unlimited amount of users. Now, these tools, when I begin to talk about them, like I said previously, they're not only just for our students, you can also use them for our work centers. They're a great way to come together to have group meetings and team meetings as well. For DCS, it can be used on the NIPRNet and the SIPRNet, depending upon your individual needs. It is open source. DCS, like I said, it has an unlimited amount of users. It can hold over 6,000 concurrent web conferencing users at one time. And you can have up to 250 participants per your web conference. Also, DCS, it really enables joint collaboration. It is in a secure and reliable and cost-effective way. Some upcoming features that DCS has are they're adding a mobile chat function and also DCS 2.0 upgrade, which will add the voice integration during conference calls via mobile. And also they're going to add some breakout rooms as well. DCS has come a long way, and I've seen it now, and it really is a great collaboration tool that is right at our fingertips that a lot of people forget about. DCS also holds live training groups upon request. So you just need to go to the website and they will actually have a live training group available for you and your coworkers if you need training for DCS. Next is Google Hangouts. I know many of us have used Google Hangouts. This is actually IDLE's backup when Blackboard Collaborate for some reason is not working. And we actually have a whole day dedicated in the course to technology, and we do our synchronous session via Google Hangouts on that day. And Google Hangouts, it is a social and communications platform, and you can instant message with each other, have voice and video chat. You do not need your common access card. It works on the AFNet. Now, when I say it works on the AFNet, you know, that could be hit or miss, but it works. It has worked. And you can have up to 10 people on a video chat. So this would be better suited for your smaller classes. The only limit fact I could see for Google Hangouts is that you have to have a Google Mail, a Gmail account in order to use Google Hangouts. So you might have a student that might not have a Google email address, so they won't be able to, participate in Google Hangouts. Making an email address is really simple. Google Hangouts also has mobile apps that are available for Apple and Android users. It's free anywhere in the United States and Canada. There might be a small fee if you want to call internationally. You can screen share, and Google Hangouts is extremely user-friendly. So this is a great option if you just want to grab a couple people together and have be able to collaborate with one another. Next is Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is a huge collaboration tool that you can connect to anyone, anywhere around the world and do whatever you want with Microsoft Teams. They're really trying to make sure everything is in one place, and they're really concentrating on this new culture of work. In Microsoft Teams, you're able to share information via one common space. So when you log into Microsoft Teams, you have access to everything that you need. The features include they have document collaboration, they have one-on-one chat and team chat functions where you can have up to 25 people. You do not need a common access card. With Microsoft Teams, you're able to have video calls and chat. You can file share. But the nice thing about Microsoft Teams is that you're able to have integration with other software. So you can integrate with OneNote or SharePoint and a ton of other applications. You can have planners as well. And when you have your team, you can also break them up into channels. And where those people in those channels, your users can have their own conversations, they can share files, they can access a wiki, and much more. Another nice feature about Microsoft Teams is that you can actually link it to Blackboard. So if your course is housed in the Blackboard LMS, you can create documents and calendar notifications through Microsoft Teams that will actually appear on your Blackboard class calendar. If you do not have a Microsoft Teams account, don't worry. You can create a guest link and send that guest link out for those that do not have an account. You can literally have a team from 10 to 10,000 people. They could be within your organization or outside of your organization. It doesn't matter. They can all get together in Microsoft Teams. So this is a very robust tool for us to use in the collaboration part. Next is MailSuite. Sometimes I think we forget about MailSuite, but it does reside on MailCloud. It's a collaboration tool that is available to us. You do need Common Access Card, and you have the ability to upload different types of training, videos, and you can collect feedback through surveys on MailSuite. MailSuite is really just a collaboration of different types of tools. It is US DoD, Department of Defense specific, and it's really a secure collaboration tool behind the DoD's firewall. MailSuite is comprised of MailWiki, which it's a living military encyclopedia, and then there's MailBook, which is a professional networking tool. You have the Mail blog. It's a place where people can share and comment on news and events. And also you have MailTube, which is just like YouTube. It's a video sharing platform for our military workforce. And MailSuite is really working on building that popular Web 2.0 model of community content and participation. And they really understand, helps our workforce overcome the geographic and organizational divisions that we all have grown to know and love so much. And I see the chat going, and I really appreciate it. And thank you to Ms. Garcia and Mr. Rosenkrantz for answering those questions. Next, we have WebEx, this fairly newer tool for the military, but WebEx, it allows users to create and join face-to-face audio and video meetings from a web browser or a mobile device as well, so it can be used on both devices. It has free plans with up to 100 attendees in the meeting. You do not need a common access card, and you are able to hold conference calls and video conferencing as well. You can access on the AFNet. We tried yesterday. We tried to join a meeting. It took a little long, so might you have a couple hours maybe, but you can get there. You can get there on the AFNet. And also with WebEx, they can allow you to hold webinars with up to 3,000 people. And they have sort of three different avenues with WebEx. They have a meeting, a training, and a team. So you really need to get in there and pick which is right for you. The nice thing about WebEx is that you are able to see 25 people on the screen at one time. So that's a really great feature with WebEx. And as I said before, there's mobile apps available, and it works on mobile devices as well, since we are all on the go all the time. And last but not least in our collaboration toolbox is Zoom. So Zoom is a cloud-based video conferencing platform. You're able to have group conferencing. You are allowed to share with Zoom. You do not need a common access card. And Zoom Gov is also available, which is a more secure version of Zoom for video conferencing. You can hold live meetings, video webinars, and have conference rooms and chats going on in Zoom. There is 100 people that you can have in a video conference at one time. Now, for the free basic account in Zoom for educators, they had a 40-minute time limit. Well, guess what? They just lifted it. There's no 40-minute time limit. So get your free basic account and you have no time limit, which I know that was a limp fact for us using it because we talk longer than 40 minutes. So you don't have to worry about that. It also, with Zoom, it integrates seamlessly with many other LMSs. So no matter what LMS you're using, whether it be Moodle, Canvas, or Blackboard, Zoom seamlessly integrates into those. You also have closed captioning and a keyboard shortcut available, so any user can access Zoom no matter what the disability is that they have. And they do have breakout rooms as well. Now, I just went over a few tools, and I know there are a lot of tools out there. So if you have a tool or a software that you have in mind and you're like, man, I wonder if we could use this, I have a website for you that you can go to where you can get that answer. FedRAMP is a website where this is sort of where the software it's vetted for federal use. Now, whether you get the approval at your base or wherever you're at to use it is another thing. But this is sort of like your foot in the door. It's already been vetted. It's went through security checks, and it has been deemed that it is secure and authorized for use by federal agencies. I'm going to share my screen real quick and share you the FedRAMP site. So when you get there, you know exactly where to go so you can look up what software it is that you are curious about to see if it actually is authorized. Here is the FedRAMP site, and when you get here, you just need to go over to Marketplace and click Marketplace. Now, when you click Marketplace, sometimes this takes a second for it to actually go. And of course, you know, right before here, I clicked on everything and it worked. But, you know, we even talked about this yesterday. For some reason, FedRAMP does this to us all the time. But here we go. Don't give up. It takes a second. So here is when you go to Marketplace, you see that there are 180 authorized different types of software available for use. And just, you know, I'm curious. Let's scroll down and see if Zoom Gov is actually approved. And here it is. So when you click on the software that you are interested in, you get this pop-up box and it actually tells you all about it. It actually was authorized last April. And if you click the little plus button, it tells you all about the service description and exactly what Zoom for Government is. And you can do this with any type of platform. This is just a great tool for you to have in your back pocket to give you some information on if a software is available or not to use for the federal government. So now that we talked about different types of collaboration tools, let's get into some different tools for assessments and activities. Here I'll be going over Animoto, Canva, Mentimeter, Padlet, Pictochart, Pixtin, and Zimmer Twins. And again, there's a ton of tools out there. These are just a couple that I have experience with and that really create an engaging environment. But before we get into the specifics about these tools, it's really important to understand the different types of assessments and activities that you will have in your online environment now in your classrooms. So when we think of traditional assessments, we think of our multiple choice, fill in the blank, final exams, we have short answer and essay questions. But having a traditional assessment in a non-traditional classroom might not be the best fit. Now in the online classroom, the gates are open. We have so many different options for different types of assessments that we can give our students. And these are called varied assessments. We have blogs, threaded discussions, journals, wikis, case studies, group projects. Honestly, it's endless the different types of things you can have your students do. And the great thing about these types of assessments and these tools is it lets your students be creative. Remember when I talked about the knowledge creation and internalizing the content? These different types of assessments really allow the students to take their own path to the end product. As long as they get to the end and they got there and it's right, it doesn't matter how they get there. They took their own path, and by doing that, they're learning. and they're internalizing it and they're being creative, and it makes it personal to them. And that's okay. And as the instructor, you really get to learn a lot about your students and see their creativity come out. And some of these different types of tools and assessments might take a little more time to complete, but I guarantee you at the end, your students will really love the exercises and the assessments that you are giving them. So first, real quick, I'm just going to go through these, and then I'm actually going to pull up the web pages so you can see what they look like and how you can use them with your class. First is Animoto. This is a great tool where your students can create videos within minutes. And this is a great tool that you can use for introductions. As we all know, we have our icebreaker assignments in class, in the face-to-face classroom, and in the online environment. Those are very, very important. Very important for the instructors to get to know your students, and also for your students to get to know one another, and again, to build that dynamic learning community. With Animoto, it's very simple. You can have a time limit. You can have your students make a minute and 30 video. They can upload photos that are important to them, add little captions. It has music, and it's just a great different way to really have a nice introduction of all your students. And you can do one too as the instructor. Next is Canva. I love Canva. I made this presentation in Canva. You can do whatever you want in Canva. It's absolutely amazing. You can have infographics, brochures, and much more. You can use Canva for blogs, threaded discussions, or other writing assignments as well. And I'll show you all the different things you can make in Canva once we visit that homepage. Next is Mentimeter. Actually, Ms. Garcia used this last week in her webinar. Mentimeter is a great tool to really beef up your presentation and make it interactive. You can do word clouds. You can have polls within your presentation. So this is a great way to get your students involved and just not have them sitting in front of the computer and being passive. Next is Padlet. Padlet is a great tool to use, especially for a KWL exercise, know, wants to know, and learn. Another example for this is you could have students, you have a board, make the board look however you want, and your students, no matter where they're at, can populate this board with information. So say your topic is about airplanes, and you can have the students for what do they know about airplanes? Okay, on a blue sticky note, write what you know about airplanes. And as they write it, it populates on this board, and it's a very awesome collaborative tool. So after done, you have all the what you know, what you want to know, what you've learned, and you can export that. So now everybody has this great document that has all this information that they can use to study from. And also, as the instructor, you have it to give you a sense of where you need to go with instruction as well. Next is PictoChart. It's another great tool to use for infographics. You can use it for threaded discussion and blogs, where if you have a subject you want the students to know, they can create an infographic about that subject and upload it into a threaded discussion, and then other students can comment on each other's infographic. Next is Pixton. We just incorporated this into the IDLE course, and we love it. The students can create their own comic. They could be whatever they want for the day. It's a great site, and it's really fun for the instructors to watch these and to read these comics. It really lets your students' creativity run wild. They're a lot of fun, and it's great for threaded discussions because you can download your comic and share it as well, and your students can comment on each other's comics. So the discussion thread for this assignment is always, it's a good time. And then we have Zimmer Twins. This is where you can have students create their own video, and it's a lot of fun as well, and you can use this for any type of varied assessment type. So let me go ahead and briefly just pull up these different types of tools for you so you can see them real quick. First, this is Animoto. As you can see, you could sign up with Facebook if you have a Facebook account, you can just sign up for free and you can get in here and you can start making a really quick video. You can drag and drop your pictures, add captions. It's just a really great way for you to get to know your students and for your students to get to know you as well. Next is Canva. So Canva is a great way you can make announcements, presentations, infographics. You can also make a brochure or a poster. It's another great way to have an assessment. They can do presentations in Canva and share them through a collaborative tool that you have in your course. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and they have templates. So if you're not creative, it's okay. Just use a template. It's just a different way to get the students to think and to present content. So they're not just typing all the time. Next is Mentimeter. So this is a great tool that you can create interactive presentations and meetings wherever you're at. And like Ms. Garcia used last week, we had the word cloud and the polls. So we all were able just to log in, type in a quick code, and we were able to engage with each other. And she was able to gain information from us as well. This is Padlet. So this is where you can have beautiful boards and documents and web pages. You can even use this in a face-to-face classroom if you would like, where everyone can log in and just add their information, and then everybody else can post, and then you can share it. It's just a really great way to get everybody's thoughts and comments in one area, and then you can share that as well. Next is PictoChart. This is just another free tool that you can use to make infographics as well. Here's Pixton. Now this is in a comic that I made. This is an example of an assignment you could do. That's me with the hair, and I don't know, I just made Tina up. But it's really fun. You can have different backgrounds, and really we're just talking about online learning, and we're having a conversation back and forth. This is a great assignment you can have your students do, and as I said, you can download it and you can share it. You can share it in a threaded discussion and have students comment on each other's comments as well. And finally, you have Zimmer twins. You have brother and sister with their pet cat, and they can go and you can make these really cool videos. They're a lot of fun. So you can give your students a topic and they can just make a video and run with it. You can have, I think, up to 60 frames for the free version, which is plenty of frames for your students to complete an assignment that you have for them. All of these tools you are able to use on the AFNet. And I'm getting my screen back up for you. Give me 1 second. This is Zimmer twins here. So this is where you can take the video and you can make the video. So I'm sorry about that. You weren't able to see my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. And here is Pixton. Are you all able to see Pixton? I just want to make sure before I start talking more. No Pixton. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. There's Pixton for you. Are you able to see it now? Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. Here we go. The comic that I created, like I said, it's just a really fun way that you can have a different way for an assignment. And I think someone said, you lost me after Padlet. So the other one was just Pixochart, and that's just another tool that you can use to create an infographic as well. All right. So I'm just going to pull up my slides real quick. So I know I went over a lot of things today and a lot of different tools, but I hope that you were able to find a tool that maybe you weren't familiar with, or in the chat someone was able to put a tool in there that you also didn't know about. But everything that I talked about today, don't worry if you forget it, because it is all located in our Faculty Develop Learning Innovation Resource Center. And I have the website here, and we will share these slides for you. So all of the websites will be available for you. But I want to show you very quickly our Faculty Development Learning Innovation Resource Center, and just show you that we have all of these tools available and a bunch of other information as well available to you. So let me pull that up. So here is our Faculty Development Learning Innovation Resource Center. And here we have all different types. We've compiled different resources that will assist you not only with transferring your content from your face-to-face environment into the online environment, but also integrate some of the tools that I talked about as well. And we have it broken down into 3 different areas. We have course building, collaboration, and web tools. And this webinar will be located under the web tools section on this site. And we also have our YouTube channel as well, so check us out. We have different videos available there for you as well. This is a really great site for all of you just to have shared in your favorites. And last but not least, if you also want to learn more and you want to take one of our courses that we offer, contact us. And you can contact our instructor supervisor, Mr. Craig Edwards. There's his email. But we have 3 courses that are online, completely online, that we offer. The first one is the EIDL course that myself and Mr. Rosenkrantz teach. In this course, it'll prepare your course developers for analyzing and converting your traditional training programs into the online or blended environment. And not only does it help your course designer, it also prepares your online instructors with all of the necessary instructional strategies that they need for facilitating an online course. It's sort of like the online basic instructor course. And next we have analysis of learning course, which Ms. Monica Garcia teaches, and that will guide your students through key elements in the decision-making process. And it'll help you determine what modality will serve your needs the best. So you might realize that through the analysis of learning course, your course might not be a best fit for online learning, or maybe it's just for blended learning. So that's a really great course as well. And finally, we have the application of instructional systems development, and this will explore the use of the ISD process in course design as well. So again, these are all 100% fully online courses that are available to you, and if you're interested, please contact Mr. Craig Edwards and we'll get you signed up for our next class. Well, that is all that I have for you today. I kept it under an hour because I know your time is precious and I didn't want to keep you from lunch. But I really hope that you enjoyed today's webinar and you were able to learn something. And I really appreciate the time that you took to spend with us today. And I hope to see you in the EIDL course or one of our other courses as well. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.